world is a mess. That's the term coined by Russell Ackoff to describe situations comprising complex systems of strongly interacting problems. What's important to a project manager is to identify those interactions that are significant, and there will be more than you think. Classical analysis methods attempt to understand how things work by decomposing them. But clearly breaking them down into their component parts can't address the emergent problems that occur when we put multiple subsystems together to form a system. Systems thinking, on the other hand, works the other way around. It identifies the interactions between the components and then discovers what happens when they are combined. It attempts to predict the violence of the Texas tornado that's caused by the butterfly that flapped its wings in Brazil. There are many systems thinking methods relevant to project management. We've combined them, and the one that we use in our own consultancy practice is called a systems anatomy. First of all, it attempts to establish purpose. What is this a system to do? For example, what's the purpose of this watch? Is it a system to tell the time, or is it a fashion accessory that just happened to tell the time as well? Purpose is likely to vary across the range of project stakeholders according to their view of what would constitute success. If I'm to play some music, I would want one of these. But if I got one of these, I would not be a delighted customer. In the system anatomy process, the next task is to identify the activities that are necessary to deliver against the mutually agreed or at least accommodated purpose. We need to establish the relationship and the interdependence of those activities, both internally and externally, and that's when we will start to find out how big the mess actually is. The activities of a system will form the purpose of its subsystems and their subsystems in turn. And equally, the purpose of the system itself will be derived from the activities of its own supersystem. We live in an interconnected world in which no man is an island entire unto itself. So we need also to look at what's going on in the outside world. What bigger system is this a part of? What external constraints and risks are we likely to be subjected to? How much are those likely to change over the duration of the project? Can we do anything to reduce them? And if not, how can we minimise their effect? The anatomy process is designed to deliver a high-level picture of a complex system, providing a much clearer foundation on which to proceed with the more detailed first-order methods of work breakdown, project scheduling, resource planning. We use the anatomy process at the earliest possible stage of a project, and we repeat it every time there is a significant change to that purpose or the purpose of any of our stakeholders. People sometimes tell me that they're under far too much schedule pressure to use the systems thinking approach. We haven't time for the luxury of all of that, they say. We need to start work immediately. It's funny how they end up having to find the time and the extra money to put things right when they find out they haven't delivered the right thing.